Ah, behold, the beautiful burning lake. Years have passed since our last official embrace. One more roll, to dwell among the soaring clouds they've known so well before. From victory roll to tail chase, at heaven's very door. Every DCS World video must begin, as this one has, with the beauty and majesty of the landscape syncopated and joined to a magnificent musical score. Brothers in arms, and arms, and arm in arm, and arm, bringing death upon his fellow man. Nope, not that kind of video. See that skinny kid there? Well, that was me way back in the 90s. I was a crew chief on the F-16. The highlight of my career, of course, was the day I got to spend a couple hours flying that damn thing that broke my ass on all those years. The guy on the left, that's my friend Luke. We called him Boy Pilot. There I am again, in the backseat of the D model, desperately trying not to throw up, but, well, I ended up puking, shitting, and pissing myself. Worth it! Since I never got a chance to fly for the military, well, I just flew my own little fighter with some friends. We called ourselves the Vultures. Truth is, we chose that name for two reasons. One, because we were sure nobody else was going to want it. And two, because we would eat any scraps we could find just to be part of air shows. So what the hell am I doing here talking to you guys for, in this world of virtual aviation? Well, shit, I haven't flown a real airplane in some time. Long story, but my last flight was, well, it was pretty goddamn interesting, really. And after telling my brother Mike about it on his radio show, he came up with a nice illustration that more or less gets the point across. Have a look.
His plane's going down. He's in a spacesuit. He radios to the tower. They say, they're blowing off live artillery. He's like, I have no choice. We're crashing. He lands there anyway. Now imagine this EZ, which looks like it's from Star Trek, lands, fire trucks everywhere. The hatch opens, and he gets out in the spacesuit. Take me to your leader.
Okay, so you're asking, is this a history book? What the hell is the point of all this? Well, I've been working on a fun project that I wanted to share with you all, and for fuck's sake, I really couldn't think of a better way to explain it without explaining how I got there. So you see, it's about airplanes, and it's about music and how they're great on their own, but when you bring them together, well, you get an epic symphony. So hang on a second, I'll give you a couple examples. Remember this shot from earlier? It didn't have a particular feel to it because it was just a video placed on top of some silly music. Now, if you watch the clip with the original music, the essence of the mood comes to you. Okay, well, here's one from about 4 years ago when the Virtual Vultures performed here at the Burning Lake. This music that you're hearing had nothing to do with the production at all. And holy Jesus, thank you, Lord. The feel, it's goofy and it's fun, but that wasn't the point at all. Now, listen to the music that was used and how it sets the mood. Its building and its beauty and motion. So, you should get the idea by now. The music, it sets the tone, whether you're conscious of it or not. It's there, and it brings you to the mood that's intended. Hell, I've done it 10 times in this video so far. I started with a spoof on a typical DCS World video, then through some whimsical and fun moments of self-deprecating humor, but it's all for one reason, and honestly, there's no way to tell you. I had to let you hear it for yourself. Now to the entire point of the BFM Revolver project that I've been building. So I noticed there were so many videos out there all over social media where guys did startup tutorials on the DCS Viper, and there's lots of them. Some good, some not so good, but the one thing they all had in common was there's no ground crew running the launch inspection. I did that for years, and it was a lot of fun, but it was also pretty important work because, let's face it, that jet just ain't going nowhere without the maintenance crews. I was engine run qualified on the F-16, and it was by far my favorite part of the job. I remember one particular night doing a run when my friend Jimmy was on the comms. We decided to go all the way through an entire launch procedure up to the point where the jet could leave the chocks. It meant the world to me to do that, and I never have forgotten that moment. So when the DCS Viper came out, it had been over a decade since I had last run the jet, so I couldn't wait to get another taste of that. The funny thing, it felt anemic to me. The whole launch experience was, and it still is, missing. So I've baked that into this mission. The crew chief is talking to you on the comm board, and he'll run you through the entire launch process with you. But it's nothing like one of the DCS training missions, nor is it like any of the startup tutorials that you might have seen. The presumption is that you already understand what you, as the pilot, need to be doing, and the crew chief isn't going to tell you. He can only talk to you about things that he sees on the ground and things that he feels on the ground. You, being the pilot, have to fit all that stuff that you need to do somewhere in between the required checks that he's doing on the ground. That's just the way that goes. Okay, so let's just watch the rest of the launch process. The music sets the tone. While you're going through it, all of your future target drones are being launched along with the AWACS and the tanker. It takes 8 minutes for all of that to happen. And when you're in the moment, that 8 minutes goes by really quickly.
Alright, lights are on. Main generator should be online. Check electrical system. Light is out. Flight controls are clear. Start the up.
Pull up. Altitude. Warning. Jammer. Counter. Cat flare. Low. Out. Block.
Okay, looks like the bit's running. Standing by for the taxi light. Taxi light's on. Standing by for the landing light. Okay, landing light's on. You can shut that off. Okay, hydraulics A and B look good. Accumulators are up. You have 6 green. ECS bleed air feels good. We're ready for the speed brakes. Speed brakes are open. You're cleared to close. And speed brakes are closed. We're ready for set.
Type L39, Katasi Tower. Good morning. Winds are 254 at 6 knots, clear for takeoff. Runway 7. Climb and maintain 1010,000.
Nozzles are closing. Check for a sec light and run her up to 70 gauge.
Contact range control 305 decibels.
No movement. Nozzles remain closed. Looks good. We turned it on. Nozzles have opened. Stand by for the brake check. Set channel 2. On channel 2. I'm on the left side. Pump the left brake and then the right. Movement left. Now pump the right. No movement left. Set channel 1. On channel 1. Pump the left brake and then the right. Movement left. Pump the right. No movement left. Alright, stand by. Going over to the right side.
Turn right when able. Fly.
Okay, ready on the right side. Pump the right brake, then the left.
0,000 to the refuel track at Delta.
Movement right. Pump the left. No movement right. Back to channel 2. On channel 2. Pump the right brake, then the left. Movement right. Pump the left. No movement right. Brakes okay. Ready for the trim check. Disconnect trim. Trim disconnected. Checking for movement. Trim nose up. No movement. Trim nose down. No movement. Trim roll left. No movement. Trim roll right. No movement. Connect trim.
Clear for takeoff. Runway 7. Climb and maintain.
Trim connected. Trim nose up.
15,000 feet. Proceed direct burning lake.
Trim is moving. Nose coming up.
Navigation.
Okay. Trim nose down.
5.0. Caution.
Nose coming down. Trim nose neutral. Pitch trim is neutral. Trim roll left.
0 for 20 at 10,000.
Trim is rolling left. Okay. Roll the trim right.
Uzi 3-1, Kutazi Tower, good morning.
Trim is right. Return to neutral.
5 knots, cleared for takeoff for runway 7.
Trim is neutral. Ready for flight controls. Set DB1.
Feet, follow company traffic, direct burning link.
With DB1. Nose up. Okay, nose down. Okay, nose down with the kick. Okay, roll right. Okay, good. Now rudder left. Okay, now rudder right. Okay, it looks good. Set DBU off. DBU is off. Check DBU light is out. Standby flight controls. Nose up.
21, Kutazi Tower, good morning. Winds 2.
Okay, nose down. Okay, nose down with the kick. Alright, roll left. Okay, roll right. Okay, good. Now rudder left. Okay, now rudder right. Okay, looks good. Stand by the EPU bleed air check. Confirm the light is off. Pulling the EPU pin. Okay, the pin is out. Set oxygen to 100%. Okay, add a little power. Clear to test the EPU.
Uzi 4-1, type MiG-29
I see exhaust. You should have a bleed air light. If you do, release the test.
Clear for takeoff runway 7. Climb and maintain 1515.
Okay, stand by. Checking for residuals.
Following company traffic stream to the burn link range, then.
Okay, feel no residuals. Set oxygen back to normal.
5.0. Caution, braking turbulence.
Alright, oxygen's normal. Let's check the air refueling door. You're cleared to open the door. The door is opening. I see the light on out here. You should have a ready light.
Type.
Okay, checking the fuel system has depressurized. Standby 1.
Takeoff runway 7. Climb and maintain.
Okay, we're all set. You can close the door.
Follow company stream to the burning link range, then resume.
The door's closing and the external light is out. Check to see that your ready light's gone out. 1 second. We're checking for pressure on the fuel. Okay, the fuel system has pressure. Looking good down here. Confirm master arm is off. Confirm the holdback door is removed. The counter is showing 510. Pulling lollipops, missile covers, countermeasurements, and gun pin. Missile T-handles confirmed are armed and the argon looks nice and cold. Confirming 3 gear pins and push pins removed. Clear to disconnect. Alright, disconnecting and closing the door. Have a great flight and may the force be with you. So, you can see there's quite a few things to do beyond what you might have learned before. There's a lot of chatter on the radio, you have to configure some other things in the jet beyond what the ground crew can help you with. And notice when you start to taxi, the music changes. It's building to something. Embrace it. Enjoy it.
Contact range control 305.0. Piper 01, Kutazi ground, taxi to runway 25. Make a right turn out of parking, then just follow those barriers. You have some vehicles blocking the runway until that 10 ship of drones departs ahead of you. Uzi 81 type F-18, Kutazi Tower, good morning. Winds 245 at 3 knots. Clear for takeoff runway 7. Climb and maintain 15,000 feet. Follow the stream to the range. Contact range control 3050. Caution, wake turbulence. G'day. Uzi 10, good morning. Looks like it last to go. Welcome to the party. Type SU-27, Kutazi Tower, winds 245 at 4 knots. Clear for takeoff, runway 7, climb and Viper 01, Kutazi Tower, short runway 25. Departing traffic, opposite direction. Use caution, vehicles blocked for the taxiway. Remain in position, they'll be clearing once that 10 ship's departed.
Uzi 1, airborne.
Viper 01 Kutazi. Taxi position hold runway 25. Remain this frequency.
Once you enter the runway environment, we feel another change in the atmosphere. The takeoff clearance isn't really accurate. It's an amalgam of what you would hear from tower and clearance delivery, but I did it this way to make things simple and to keep things moving as quickly as possible.
Good morning, Viper 01, Kutazi Tower, cleared for immediate takeoff runway 25, Winds 250 at 6 knots. Altimeter 29092. Climb and maintain 15,000. Turn right heading 063 for 20 miles. Contact Focus's range control 305.0. Multiple aircraft in radar trail in the vicinity. Caution for wing turbulence departing aircraft opposite direction. Cleared into the Burning Lake range. Speed restricted on departure is 450 knots. 450 knots. Have a good flight. Good luck.
Passing waypoint 2 at 2,300.
Viper 01, range control.
Once you enter the Burning Lake range, you'll experience another change from the pure joy of breaking out of the weather into that gorgeous sunrise, then into a suspenseful preamble to combat. As you get closer to the first drone target, the music intensifies until the merge, where it becomes somewhat mental.
Enfield 1-1. Focus 1-1. Bra 062-424 at 13420 knots. 25,000. Enfield 1-1. Focus 1-1. Bra 062-417 at 15,000 knots. Enfield 1-1. Focus 1-1. Bra 062-411 at 15,000 knots. Enfield 1-1. Focus 1-1. Bra 05742 at 15,000 knots. Enfield 1-1. Focus 1-1. Bra 27842 at 15,000 gold.
Whenever you kill a target, again, the mood changes. Some of the fights will be pretty intense, they go on for a while, and the mental release is really welcome.
Good kill. Return to the center of the lake at waypoint 1 to receive your next target.
Enfield 1-1. Focus 1-1. Bra 26542 at 10,000 gold.
good things must come to an end. Your respite is over, you had your little celly, and it's time to get back to it. Rinse and repeat. You'll have as much time as you need to recover, to get back on speed, back on altitude, and reconfigured. If you don't want to take the next target, just stay away from the center of the lake. Once you fly over the lake, you're getting another target, whether you like it or not. Use this time to check your gas, decide if you need to go to the tanker before you overfly the lake. When you do decide it's finally time to gas up, once again, you'll have a change in tempo. There's no rush here though. Just enjoy the refuel. Once your refuel is complete, take a moment to square away your platform before pointing your nose back to the lake. The mission will go on like this until you kill all 10 drones. There are a few more surprises in there along the way. It takes you all the way back to Chocks. It's like flying in an action movie where you get to be the star. I just hope you'll enjoy the ride.